Police officers were told yesterday to use their discretion when deciding whether to prosecute shoplifters amid the cost of living crisis. Andy Cook, a man I'm sure you know well, the new police watchdog, risked raising the wrath of retailers. Who wrote that? As he suggested officers should weigh up whether it's best to proceed. Your view as policing minister?
So I have a lot of respect for Andy Cook. He's a fellow Scouser. We get on very well. But I'm afraid I find it a bit old-fashioned thinking. We first of all believe that the law should be blind and police officers should operate without fear or favour in the prosecution of the law. But secondly, also, that it's not quite right to say that as the economy fluctuates, so does crime. We've seen economic problems in the past or not when crime has risen or not. Our job is to get ahead of these kind of crimes, particularly acquisitive neighbourhood crimes, which are now down very significantly post-pandemic, assisted, I have to say, by the pandemic, but to drive them down even further. And we could do that in smart ways. So, for example, you said the drug summit today. We know that 50% of acquisitive crime, burglary, robbery, shoplifting, is driven by addiction to heroin and crack, right? If we can treat that addiction, then we can reduce crime. As you will know, Nick, we are GPS tagging acquisitive criminals as they come out of prison, burglars, robbers, to make sure they don't reoffend. We know where they are 24 hours a day. We can put them time and place next to a crime. These kind of smart solutions will help us beat, I'm afraid, that slightly 1970s assumption. We actually think there's a growing body of evidence that says poverty doesn't cause crime. Actually, crime and violence cause poverty. And where you remove the crime and the violence, very often people and neighbourhoods fly and prosper. That's not to say there isn't a cost of living challenge. Of course there is. But our job is to make sure we drive down crime, notwithstanding that challenge for everybody.
So the army of men and women who own the shops, the businesses, the news agents, whatever it might be, know that with this government, you will make sure the police do not turn a blind eye to someone who runs out with a loaf of bread and 6 eggs.
Absolutely right. And in fact, I wrote to chief constables just a year or so ago saying that they should not be ignoring those seemingly small crimes.